Hey, what's
Hello,
up, guys?
welcome back. I'm back on the stream. I'm excited. We're going to game four. Game 4 of a best of 5 of FNB versus StarFang. I'm super excited. We're already in the draft. We're a little late. We have a Lowy ban. It's nothing, no surprise there.
Yeah, not at all.
And then Braum ban.
Yeah,
Thresh.
Shen, of course.
After the last game, watching Mamek on that Shen was really impressive.
Mamek is very
yeah, so I'm not surprised that they banned the Shen out because they were having trouble to deal with. That's honestly what made them win in the early game. The Shen having really good ultimates, being able to come down all the way in the bot lane and just carrying out that early game.
Yeah, and then it flipped in the late game. You know, they didn't have that presence that they were having in the early game. They weren't playing right.
Aurelia, very obvious ban.
Yeah.
Like
Same
we
ban
saw
as
it in
last
game 2. It was very
And
strong. Lulu, yeah, like I think they scouted out the opponent's team and they saw like one of their players
They must have.
Because we see the Lulu ban every single game so far.
Yeah, he must have max mastery with Lulu.
Yeah, just maximum, just so good. Lulu is a very good champion, also in meta right now. Like, Lulu's fantastic. Her ultimate, being able to polymorph champions, it's just been really good in the meta and out of these games.
Yeah, she's just always been so strong, and so it's just a good ban in general if they have a Lulu pick on their team.
Yeah, definitely. Auto StarFang, Victor first pick.
Oh,
Victor
Graves.
very strong. Graves.
He did talk about that in an interview, so I like that we're seeing that now.
Yeah, Graves being a very strong champion right now in the meta, and hopefully we can see some really good Graves plays.
Hope so.
And Caitlyn being MVP, I think. Like Caitlyn dealing out tons of damage in these last couple games. She's doing fantastic. You see we're hovering over Karma, which is also a very strong pick.
Yeah, we had it in the first game, and it was working out, but, you know, it just didn't go well for them in the game.
Yeah, it was really good in the lane. Like, I feel like the Karma was pressuring the opponent, like, really, really well. And, like, the bot lane wasn't able to take any sort of advantage because the Karma pressure was just too strong, right? So,
yeah.
But now we see him locking into the Karma. Sure playing Karma.
What are we going to see from the AD carry here?
Yeah, I don't know.
They're going to need something big for this.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to lock in the
They're taking away Elise. I think they played Elise in game 2 and 3, and both games StarFang have been playing extremely well. So I'm not surprised about the Elise pick.
Yeah.
And they left open Zed. I did not notice that.
Oh dear. So they did scout. That's why
They
banning
did scout.
the Zed.
Yeah, they banned out the Zed, and
now this could be it.
now I think they just forgot to ban the Zed, and now the Zed's coming out.
Yeah, they were too focused on the top lane bans, and now they lost their bans like Blitzcrank, Zed.
Exactly. And I think Blitzcrank would be a spicy pick. It'll be.
Oh, yes,
it's going to be a good bot lane, especially seeing how Karma does not do very well against Blitzcrank. Karma is just strong.
Am I saying this right?
Annie.
She's a strong pick.
She's a very strong pick. And seeing how you're able to like Blitzcrank and then Annie just ults on top of whatever Blitzcrank hits, like that is just an insta kill. So right now these pulls by Blitzcrank are going to be deadly.
Oh, absolutely.
As long as like if this Blitzcrank's able to hit his pulls, it's going to really make or break the game. We're waiting for someone for the top lane and the ADC picking up that Ezreal. I like that pick. That's a very, very strong pick. And
Maokai can, yeah.
Mamek playing a very strong Maokai in game 2. I really like this pick. This is a very good, strong pick.
Yeah, that's definitely the pick they need to their team right now. No really big tank from them, so.
Definitely. But at the same time, top lane pick is still open. And they're thinking about Nautilus.
Nautilus wouldn't be a bad choice, you know. Maokai's not overly aggressive, so playing someone like Nautilus wouldn't hurt at all.
Yeah, and like the top lane is going to be pretty boring, seeing all these two are probably the biggest tanks in the game right now.
Yeah,
and this should be a noodle fight up there, I think.
Oh yeah.
But at the same time, we'll see how well they use the teleports, see how well they use the roams, and see how well they're able to pressure on the other lanes and definitely become a very strong pick. Alright, so now we have our team comps in full. So what do you think of these?
The Victor and Ez, definitely seen those ones coming. They're really going to need that Ezreal to be strong. They're going to need to focus their farming, and I feel like that's why they have Ezreal and Victor here. Make it easier for them to farm, of course. Mamek's bringing out his Maokai again. You know, it's a strong pick for him, and so I'm not surprised seeing that at all. And then going to the enemy team, you know, Burke saying he's been playing Graves for a long time, so this could be a very, very deadly situation for them.
Yeah. And like I really like the Blitzcrank pick. It's out of the ordinary. You don't see it very often, especially in pro play.
Yeah.
So they're definitely just being their own team and trying their own composition in their own style, right?
Bring that unicorn's love.
Unicorn, yeah. And seeing how many pulls they have, the Nautilus plus the Blitzcrank, it's gonna be really hard because Mavic will have to do really well by blocking for their backline. Because like right now, Mamic's the only person that really, maybe Elise.
Yeah.
Those two really have to do the blocking hard for Ezio and Victor.
Yeah, last game she went tank item first, so she might have to do that again to help her team out here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. For sure, I think on the FNB side, it's 100% just, where is it, FNB? Yeah, the FNB, yeah. FNB side, it's 100% just like a pick comp. You find someone, you pick off whoever you could pull with the Nautilus pull, Blitzcrank pull, and they're dead. They're instantly dead with the crazy amount of damage from Graves and Caitlyn, like this amount of DPS too, and the Annie burst is actually terrifying. I've played against many Annies and I'm terrified of her. I shouldn't be terrified of a little girl, but...
Yeah, this could definitely be a very rough lane for Kyler.
She's so scary. But yeah, I think this is going to be a fantastic game. Like, these two teams both kind of put themselves... They're not here to screw around. No. They both won games against each other, and now they're going to win. They're playing for that championship spot.
Yeah,
and they're not screwing around.
I could definitely see one of these. Whoever comes out of this could definitely be the champion here today.
Definitely, these two teams have been playing very, very well. FNB being in the lead with one game, and if they take out this game, they'll be going to the finals for Summoners of the North.
You gotta wonder how StarFang's feeling right now. Pressure's on. They have to win the next two games.
Definitely. Like, as soon as they lose this game, they're out of the tournament.
Yep.
And yeah, I really hope I'm not even cheering for either team. I love both these teams. Both these teams have been playing so well. They're unique. They have both fantastic players on their each team. And I just hope they just play their best they can and give us a great game.
Yeah.
Still waiting on the streamer's delay.
Yeah.
Oh. We're sponsored by Soup. Yeah. Try to throw it in just for Sean. Yeah.
Get that soup out of here.
Get that soup out of here. We don't need that. We have Crazy Horse. Who needs soup when you have Crazy Horse, right? Also, our other sponsors: Staples, DDR2, Computer Solutions,
and the Hub Space for
Hub Space for hosting us. If you guys get a chance, stop by the Hub Space. It's actually like a really fun environment right now. You have people playing games, we're drinking energy drinks.
And everyone's very friendly here.
Everyone's so friendly, and everyone's just having a good time. Hopefully, we'll jump in the game now.
Hopefully, no technical issues.
Hopefully, game 1 was a little rough, where we had lots of technical issues. But you know what? I think we fixed them all. And I think the rest of the day, it's gonna be some really good games.
I'm excited to see the other teams. We haven't seen anything from the Heart Crew yet, so...
That's true. Heart Crew is coming up next, depending if Samsung would, but we'll get on that a little later.
Yeah, I would love to see them show up, They won all their games, and I would love to see FNB and Samsung Wood going down in the finals if Samsung Wood manages to make it, because FNB is the only team that even got one win against Samsung, so... Yeah,
FNB really showing their strength in their picks. They're they have really good communication. It's just in that, and especially they showed it right in that last game where they're able to hit all those crucial ultimates and able to pull out a win when it looked pretty bad for them. And yeah, honestly, I think these two team comps are really on point. These are really good teams. And here we go. We're jumping in the game. Summoners of the North, Game 4 of Best of 5.
Yeah. I wonder if we'll see an Invade in this game.
I would love to see Invade, especially with Blitzcrank. Yeah. I could definitely see it happen.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Definitely be some serious pressure on there.
Definitely. And FNB, with the Blitzcrank, they need to pull everything they got. Yeah. So they might risk it and risk it all because they can afford to lose the game here. So they might risk it and just go for it for an Invade in this game.
Yeah, it'll definitely put them in a sticky situation if it goes 2-2. You know, then the pressure's really on for both teams.
Yeah, exactly.
But if this invade goes well, it makes a huge difference, and they can secure the game with that.
Yeah, looking at these pings, it does look like they're going to try and invade here.
Yeah.
Nautilus most likely starting up with his hook, and also Blitzcrank with his pull. This would be very bad if forced for StarFang if they give up a kill early on.
Yeah.
Because I've seen how like StarFang, they do seem to fall behind in farm in games.
That's for sure.
And like giving up a kill early on will really hurt them because they won't be able to catch it up. And here we go, Flash is coming up. Really good.
2 pulls missed, and they had the anti-stun up. That could have been huge.
Oh my god, that was crazy. Really good Flash by King Kyler on the Victor.
And they're gonna back off.
And yeah, they realize they missed it. They're going to back off, go to the normal start.
Close.
It looks like the exhaust on Blitzcrank also has been used, so that's going to affect the laning phase a little bit, especially seeing how Karma's in the lane. I feel like this Caitlyn Blitzcrank bot lane will be abused.
Absolutely.
We see this Ezreal Karma hopefully maybe getting a pick off.
Yeah.
Starting off really far forward in the bush. Like they have enough damage for the Ezreal and Karma. Like it'll be good to see.
Another thing we hadn't considered yet, like the huge auto attack range of Annie. You know, she can just take shots at this Victor all day.
Oh yeah, Annie
definitely make a difference.
Yeah, Annie could definitely. I definitely think Annie's definitely ahead in the lane phase against Victor. Like I think Victor does outscale Annie, but at the same time, even late game, Annie's not really there for like she bursts a decent amount and then she just kind of stops. But her stun is deadly late game.
Always.
Whereas Victor only has damage, has a little bit of CC, but so I don't know how these 2 games will match up against in the late game. Like they're both really good composition. They both excel in 2 separate things really. In FNB, being able to pick off people, being able to grab someone really fast and just burst them down, and just StarFang being able to just outlast them. I think.
Yeah, they definitely have a controlled team fight.
Mm-hmm. Being a bit of aggression on the Nautilus, but not a lot of damage coming out to either side.
Taking quite a bit of damage.
No, can't carry. Definitely taking the lead on that, but. Seeing how Maokai has a great amount of sustain with his passive, I don't think this will affect the lane phase too much. And not a surprise in the bottom lane. Oh, here we have Elise maybe ganking. No. Some very fast pings coming out of there telling him not to gank. And he does have that stun up. And he's going to keep it up just to threaten it. Yeah, as we can see, like the bot lane, Karma Ezra. Oh, here we go. No, it's hitting a solid pull.
So
both about halfway, and then Graves coming in.
It's a smoke screen.
Get a smoke screen, but I don't think anything will happen. I think the Graves was just a little bit late on that gank there.
Yeah.
If he was in a bush, or close by bush, he would dash in really fast and yet get a couple auto attacks off. I think Maokai could have died there, but
yeah, they could have planned that out better.
Yeah, Knowledge just being a little early. Yeah, as we expected, the Ezreal Karma lane being very aggressive early on. Like they just have to be careful not to be pulled by the Blitzcrank under tower.
Yeah, especially now they're in a position where Blitzcrank could line up a good pull and get them under tower.
Exactly, yeah.
But at this point, level 3, if someone goes under tower, they're guaranteed to die, I'm sure.
Definitely, but right now it looks pretty controlled. They're pushing the wave off and backing off. And we see Victor having no mana in the mid lane. He's gonna have trouble, and then here we go. Twisted Advance coming out of Maokai. But it was just a bit of
very aggressive top laners.
Yeah, they're both just like really hitting hard against each other because these 2 top laners have been really affecting these games quite a bit. Like Mamek and Kent and Kent Carrier are super strong. Go bot lane the start. Yeah, I keep forgetting their name. I always want to call him Starfeast for some reason. StarFang. I don't know why. It's my brain being weird. Obviously, FNB bot lane backing off. Letting that StarFang.
Getting 2 control wards up. They're definitely playing for the wards because I made a big difference in all these games, especially against their Zac. They know that the wards made a huge difference, and so they're trying to play a smart game here.
Yeah, I noticed that in the last game. Like those early ganks by Zac, they weren't ganks. He showed up and they saw him and they just backed off. Like they weren't existent just because of really good ward control, and that really made a big difference in the early game. That what made StarFang go get a lead in the early game. Some good poke coming out of Karma in the bot lane, but not really affecting the lane too much.
I'm surprised we're not seeing as much ganking from our junglers. You know, you've got 2 jungles that have a lot of potential to gank, big damage.
Yeah, definitely.
But we're just not seeing a whole lot from them.
Yeah, like we saw that one gank top lane where Graves almost aimed to go flash in.
Ultimate Tibbers.
Almost had it. Tibbers true.
Oh,
fighting away on King Kyler's health, but it was so close. King Kyler almost dying. That was a really well done by Annie. Like Annie almost had him in. Here we have a slight middle fight. Getting some good trades. Nautilus coming out of the trade, but...
And keep in mind, that was Annie with just a Doran's Ring. When she backs, that's going to be a guaranteed kill.
Yeah, Annie has such a power spike as soon as she gets like the first couple items. Like she bursts down people so fast, especially with the flash tippers. And here we go, people health are getting real low.
Right
also coming on Nautilus.
Flash though.
Oh, in the hook hit a minion. Can Mamek do it?
He's not tanking minions, so
that was so close. Really good job by Mamek. Really good job by Can't Carry.
Yes.
Can't Carry almost getting the kill. I think one more auto attack would have done it.
Absolutely.
But Mamek doing a good job backing off.
You can definitely see Mamek's got the right mentality in this lane, you know.
Definitely.
He's getting out damage, but he's playing it smart.
Yeah. And we can see, like, StarFang, after the really huge upset of last game, they don't seem tilted at all. They don't seem like they're off their game. They're fighting hard. It looks like they're coming back with a vengeance. And here comes Elise with a solid gank.
That's the ganks we wanted to see.
And we see a teleport coming in top lane.
This can make a huge difference.
Yeah, they're backing off on this teleport.
They're backing off. They can definitely secure a kill here. Nope. Blitzcrank flashed.
Not much is happening. They just agree that this team fight would be messy, so they're just backing off.
They're keeping their Nautilus top to get some split push going, and they've been favoring that all series.
Yeah, they definitely like the split push on the top lane for FNB. Definitely keeping up pressure, and StarFang committing a lot of resources to this bottom gank, and really coming out nothing, absolutely nothing. Which really kind of puts FNB ahead in the game. And also, FNB is ahead in farm right now.
Yeah, up by just a few hundred gold. But
just a few hundred, but really not making a difference. Kind of a premature Tibbers there. Like, I feel like he didn't have the stun on the Tibbers, so that would have really made the difference. But
got trading going on the top though.
Yeah, that Nautilus is really pushed out really far.
He's in an
awkward spot, but at the same time, look at StarFang's team. There's no one nearby to be able to kill him, so...
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, nice! He was able to keep Can't Carry around, and now...
No mana, but I think...
Maokai's on the aggression.
Nope, he sees Annie coming up and he backs off.
Yeah. Almost
the right call.
Those two tanks just simply don't have enough damage to really affect each other. Oh, we see Maokai. Oh, almost interrupting Nautilus. So it's close. It's close. That'll be funny though.
Yeah. Trying to clear the wave, but he doesn't even get a single CS with it. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it just seems like the bottom lane kind of switched turns in like an aggression. Now Blitzcrank, like seeing how Ezreal and Karma did the early aggression, Blitzcrank and Caitlyn are now being the aggressors in this lane.
Absolutely.
They're just taking.
And especially they want to be like that with level 6 now. You know, Blitzcrank can get off some serious damage and set Caitlyn up for an easy ult.
And Elise is running into Graves right now. No, nothing's happening.
Back off. And if they play a trade right in bot lane, then they can set up a perfect ult for Caitlyn, where even if Karma blocks it, she still gets a kill.
Exactly. Like Blitzcrank has enough damage to really burst down either the Ezreal or Karma. Like especially with the ultimate. So all the Caitlyn has to do is just throw a Q out and ult, and most of the time that will kill a champion. So around Blitzcrank is just looking for those picks. But StarFang doing a good job kiting their Blitzcrank, not giving them any opportunity to get any kills. And we see their junglers. We've seen the junglers trying to gank over and over again, and just nothing's doing right. Both teams are doing fantastic jobs for like warding and just backing off, and just they're doing a great job.
They're playing an excellent game mechanically, but
yeah, at some point something will gonna happen, like taking Dragon or something, to be able to start a team fight off. And here we have Nautilus just taking
low.
head. Oh,
there's the pull.
Here's a pull on Karma, and see how fast he dies.
Not a chance with Graves there.
Yeah, we were just talking about how much Blitzcrank can actually burst down a champion, and
it just goes to show.
Yeah.
She got knocked up. I don't even think she touched the ground alive.
I don't think so either, especially with the Graves there, being able to throw down the Q. It was able to burst down the Karma. And FNB takes the lead with just under a 1k lead. This is exactly what their team's made for. Yeah. Getting those Blitzcrank pulls, getting those Nautilus pulls, and just pick off some champions.
Yeah, they're just playing for small picks.
And he hitting the ultimate, almost being burst down.
No Ignite. I don't think she's going to get him.
Oh, there's the flash!
The Q.
And there it is! Oh my god, beautiful flash, beautiful Q. That was real well done by I Hate Alarm. Wow, that was impressive. We can see how much Annie can really burst there. Like, she just undid her load and shot all of her abilities, and he was maybe 200 health left.
Yeah.
So that's what.
Oh my goodness, the Annie damage on that Elise. Two abilities.
They're really gonna have to buy build some magic resist against this Annie, or else they're gonna get bursted down into
I definitely think we could see Elise going Spirit Visage first again this game.
Yeah, we saw that in the other game, which was like, it's uncommon, but it worked in that other game, right?
It definitely did work out for them.
See, doing some good ward control.
And we notice a big CS difference between Annie and Victor here.
Here we go, Nala's hitting that hook, but Maokai easily swanning
to tower,
away.
There's nothing Nautilus can do there.
Yeah.
We got some pings going around near Dragon. They might start setting up for that.
Yeah, I think some Dragon plays might be played, and
Victor
doing the aggression, and bot lane also fighting each other.
Annie's gonna manage to get out of there, no problem though.
Honestly, I don't think Victor has much chance against Annie now. Like, we saw Victor there hitting most of his abilities, and Annie's like barely half health.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't do anything. Like, right now, Annie just has such a lead against Victor that it's gonna be terrifying. And here we go, Blitzcrank hitting the pull beautifully.
There is the pull again, not quite under tower.
Again, Karma just being bursted down by just like the Blitzcrank itself.
And like you said, all their Caitlyn had to do was Q auto attack and she was dead.
Exactly. Like, Caitlyn just needs to get the kill, and you just give the kill to Caitlyn, and then you're fine. And now, seeing that they got that really nice kill bottom lane.
StarFang's got vision on it, but it looks like Elise is going to go top and try and help out Mamek.
I think FNB could definitely secure this dragon without any competition. Here we have Elise hitting the cocoon, but Spyro Nautilus being Spider-Man, doing spider things.
We all know who the real spider is in this lane. There's an ult from Nautilus.
Oh, really nice repel by Elise and turn back the aggression. And Ezreal being caught out.
Yeah.
Not doing very well.
Graves
missed ultimate.
Ult there, though.
But really good, well played by Blitzcrank, waiting to use that pull. And now they have a good chance of getting this bot lane just by themselves.
Yeah. Oh, Karma's back, trying to hold it. She can't get picked here.
Yeah. I think this is really looking really good for FNB, getting a good amount of lead, being 2k gold ahead, and 4 kills. Maybe a turret, we'll see. The Elise is on her way, but I don't think the Karma will be able to stop this push on this bot lane.
First tower gold is going to go to the team that's already in the lead.
Yeah, there's first brick. FNB casually just extending their lead to 3k gold. Yeah, I'm just looking at the builds right now, and it doesn't look like the Elise is really building that Spirit Visage first as we thought.
Yeah.
It's going the regular build. Yeah, we could talk about scaling a little bit. How these teams will scale in the late game, and does StarFang have a chance, really, in the late game against this seems to be snowballing StarFang or FNB.
Yeah, FNB is definitely going to start snowballing here. They really need that Maokai to be in there for team fights as soon as possible to stop their Annie from snowballing anymore.
Definitely. But the Maokai does technically outscale the Nautilus a little bit in tankiness.
Yeah.
Because like Maokai we saw in game 2, Mamek playing a really good Maokai, just being unkillable in the game 2. And here we go, and he hitting a beautiful ult.
Definitely going down again.
And he's dead. He's just dead.
I really going.
I can't believe it. This Annie is just bursting people down.
And this is exactly what you expected to see when he picked Annie, though. It's just blowing up Victor.
Yeah. Here we go, Blitzcrank, hoping hitting a pull, and he hits the Elise. Beautiful. And top lane,
Barkley taking the turret shot.
got their jungler and top laner trying to take out this top lane turret, but Maokai successfully swatting them off. And the FNB just seems to be out rotating StarFang right now. They seem to be just everywhere at once and being able to commit at least two champions to every turret. And StarFang can't do anything. They can't beat the two champions that they commit. So like, I don't see much chance in StarFang.
And there's another turret down.
Yeah, hitting a good pull. Nautilus
trying to play aggressive, but Elise is
Elise is around, missing the cocoon.
Uh-oh.
Blitzcrank's around though. He's hitting the pull. And
they're trying to come up from mid lane, but it's gonna be too late.
No. See, they're just behind. They're just out rotating them and committing more people to.
They're way late, and FNB is just gonna back off as soon as.
Oh, good pull. But Nautilus realizes that
under tower
was
now,
there.
and they're getting caught from the river.
All right, here we go. See
Nautilus going down. There's an ult from Victor.
StarFang picking up their first kill. Hopefully getting their second. There it is, and hopefully maybe getting their third. Really good flash by Mamek.
Secures a third. There's a double kill on Victor. That's what they needed right now.
That's exactly what they needed.
Into this game after being shut down so hard by their Annie. Down by 55 CS.
Yeah. They were just being out-rotated, so they really needed this skill, and honestly, FNB overextending there, really.
Yeah.
And just staying too long because they really wanted that turret. And I think they got a little cocky from their lead, and that really gave them StarFang an opening to really get some kills.
Yeah, if Victor can farm up and they can put a kill onto Ezreal, this is going to be a real good game.
At the same time, that Annie is a real problem. It's a huge problem. Taking 2 turrets already and being 2-0 and just having a bunch of items.
Shut her down.
Like, the Annie's going to be able to burst down any of their backline if she gets to it. See some pings going on Rift Herald. They might go for Rift Herald here.
We've seen a lot of that. You know, these two teams have definitely had a lot of presence in Rift Herald, and it's definitely making a difference.
Definitely. Like, if we get Rift Herald, probably go to Graves, right? Or maybe Nautilus. I'm not sure which one I would go
say
to.
Probably Graves.
Yeah, seeing how he's the more damaging one, right?
Yeah.
But like Rift Herald doesn't work great with Graves, seeing how he only gets 2 auto attacks, but.
And they're timing this Rift Herald really well with Infernal Drake coming up in 1 minute and 20 seconds.
Yeah, and having at least all the way like near bot lane.
Yeah.
Like they can't contest this Rift Herald here.
They don't even know what's going on. I don't know.
It's not worded.
Just taking wolves.
All right, nice. Well done by FNB doing a good rotation to Rift Heralds.
And
there it is, and
sure enough on the Graves.
Getting up to the Graves. That was a good choice. Oh, Nautilus almost hitting a hood on Mamek, but not successful. All right, they see a ping. I think they see the Elise there. Blitzcrank's going in.
She's gonna be.
And like a little noodle fight happening
Elise
top
is
lane.
getting chased into the.
Yeah, there's a chasing match on Elise here, and Elise gonna try to.
Gets the cocoon on Graves, but
I think she already used repel as well, so she's dead.
Again.
No, she's still alive.
And there's the Nautilus ult.
And there's Blitzcrank just punching her in the face. Here. And Maokai
nothing he can
just
do.
dying. Yeah, Mamek couldn't. There was nothing Mamek could do there. It's 4 top.
Even with Graves missing his ult, it didn't make a difference. They're just getting cleaned
They
up.
just have the damage. They're out rotating. They have the manpower, and honestly, StarFang can't keep up. They're always coming in late, and they're low. No, all their champions are pretty low mobility too.
Mm-hmm.
Like Victor just being able to walk slow. That's just not working. Not able to roam.
And like you can see the difference. Like it's a small lead, only 5 kills, but a pretty big goal difference. Like they were up 17 kills and hardly had a goal difference last game for StarFang, and you know, and that's why FNB is able to secure these games.
Yes, definitely.
They can put themselves ahead and just keep putting on pressure, and that's what you want to see when a team's ahead.
Yeah, exactly. And like the only way StarFang really like wins a game is if they're able to get that kill lead in the early game or mid game. But right now it's not looking good for StarFang. And seeing how
poking away at a red buff while they're getting Ocean Drake.
Yeah.
Not a huge one. They don't want to risk any more kills going on to them.
Yeah, but seeing how their entire team's there, there's no way of contesting that.
No. Even if they had got into their steal it, is it worth a kill for an Ocean Drake? Absolutely not.
Yeah. And Blitzcrank doing his thing, trying to find some picks, doing some more control.
And here it is again. They're just forcing mid down their throats.
Yeah, they just have, for FNB to win this game, really, they just have to keep up the aggression. They have to be right in their face all the time, always threatening that Blitzcrank pull and the Nautilus pull, and always make sure they're right in their face. Oh, here we go.
There it is.
Annie ult missing the stun.
Maokai's getting caught out in the river here, getting sandwiched in by Blitz and Nautilus.
Yeah, Blitzcrank will be able to knock him up here, and hopefully
There's some knock-up.
there's
Saving his pull here, trying to time it right. And there it is.
There it is, nice. And Caitlyn being in the perfect spots once again.
Excellent.
Oh man,
Jumps
now
right
they're turning it
onto Caitlyn.
around.
Oh, this
Redemption
could be
coming
it.
down.
Marmik finally going down.
Mammoth goes
to their
down.
Annie.
At least not being able to take out the Caitlyn, and Ezreal being in a really awkward position, having to
Yeah.
flash over the wall,
Karma trying to get this down.
and Victor being bursted down by that Graves.
Oh, and the
Really nice pull by
Karma.
Nautilus. And now it's just the carries left, and there is
Easy
no
clean up.
hope left.
5 for 1.
That was a really dominating play by
painful to
FNB.
watch.
That was, they just
They're
had
just
the
gonna keep
positioning.
shoving mid.
Like StarFang did have a good comeback there. They were able to get the Maokai was able to do the twisted advance onto the back line, but as
And a
soon
big
as the rest of the
problem
team
with
arrived, there was no chance.
Yeah, big problem with their team right now is they have Elise, and yes, she's a strong jungler, but they really need a frontline jungler. Someone like Volibear that can get in there and control the backline, make a real difference in team fights.
Yeah, and also like force the Annie backwards, because right now
Exactly.
the Annie can easily just walk right into their backline and be able to burst everyone down, and that's a huge problem. They don't have someone to stop her other than Maokai, which is being bursted down right now because Maokai can't get ahead.
Even if he doesn't manage to get ahead, they're just going to focus out the rest of the team and clean him up after.
Yeah.
Almost at 10k gold lead.
Yeah, this is a really dominating performance by FNB. This is really impressive.
They're Annie 4-0 with almost 200 CS.
Yeah, right now Annie is being MVP right now, missing an ult. I feel like she's reaching a little far. She's overextending a little much.
I don't know if you noticed, she got a kill in River on the Maokai with her Hextech GLP. I was impressed.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's not something you see often, so
Yeah.
it was smart. She saved her abilities for the rest of the team, and it really worked out for her.
Yeah. See all usually just regular builds coming out of all the champions here. At least needing to rush that Spirit Visage, needing to get a bit of magic resist. Because she really needs to get tanky right now. Elise is
Definitely
just too squishy, and she doesn't have the damage. So she just needs to tank up right now. And really, Ezreal is really not doing his part as a ADC, right? He's not doing enough damage. He's being just picked out, and it's looking bad for StarFang.
FMB is just so strong. They have more picks, they're more capable of getting out there, getting what they need for their team, and StarFang just favors aggressive champions, and FMB is really taking advantage of that.
Yeah, definitely. And now they're attacking another turret. Like FMB is doing a good job keeping up the pressure, forcing. Oh, really close pull by Blitzcrank.
Yeah, they're confident. They're just so confident now at this point that they're fighting without any.
Yeah, they're forcing the StarFang team just to run around and try to keep up, but they honestly can't. They can't stop this push bot lane, and you have Annie top lane pushing, doing really good.
She's gonna solo push a third tower.
Yeah.
Absolutely on it.
And StarFang can't do anything about either situation because Annie could burst down whoever comes by.
Exactly. Here comes Maokai to try and stop her, but I'm sure that turret will still go down.
Yeah, and then Maokai will try to control the wave here, stop his Annie from still pushing, but Annie's
Still
putting
sitting on
solid
ultimate.
damage.
Takes tower hit.
Oh my goodness!
On their
Did you see that?
Holy.
That is insane damage, but she's getting low
There's
copy.
the turret shot.
She
the
got,
shutdown goal. That
good
makes a huge
shutdown.
difference.
They needed that shutdown goal, but that was
At
insane.
this point, I don't know if it'll make a difference. Because even after that kill, they're now up to 10k. They're still up.
Blitzcrank hitting good pull, but
This could
also
be good
bringing
for
the
them
Victor
with Annie
close to the end. There it is.
Caitlyn going down, and without a doubt, they'll get this Blitzcrank.
That was a good Victor.
They're
Nala's doing a
trading
really good
mid.
job, but
And you see that Blitzcrank gets away, and they force the kill off it.
yeah, Nala's doing a really good job tanking everything they have. But right now, he's being left alone. Ezreal,
Blitzcrank tried to come from, but no luck.
there was no luck. Yeah,
4
they're-
members of FNB now down. I wonder what StarFang will do here.
Yeah,
It's definitely gonna
StarFang
start
getting a
putting
decent
pressure on.
lead. But how are they gonna make this lead into a win for them? How are these kills gonna help them for this game? Are they gonna try and get an objective? Are they gonna try and get a turret? They can't get anything off here.
Yeah.
Right now they're just getting kills just for the gold. And that's really not what you want out of this game. You really need to get kills, and as soon as you get kills, you go for an objective.
Exactly.
But there's no objectives at stake for them. FNB is just controlling the map.
They grouped up, they managed to push out the waves, but you know, they're not going to get the tower top. They didn't get Baron. You can see FNB pinging around Baron, getting ready to go over there.
Yeah, they
And
know they can rush Baron because like
they have the damage. It's going to go down so fast that even if StarFang notices it happening, they won't be able to get there in time.
Yeah, exactly.
Because their team members are all down near bot. Maokai backing now.
they're just trying to push the waves out right now, and hopefully, if they do get the Baron buff, they won't be able to push a wave and win the game.
They're turning their attention away from Baron. They probably think there's
They
wards
want to
here,
get the
so they just
inhibitor.
wanna
That's
wait
what they
for it.
want. Annie being really far out. I don't know if they're going to get caught out. He's going to hitting the cocoon,
There's the stun.
and
Easy
there's the
kill.
burst coming from Victor.
getting
Annie
an ocean
being
break
caught
off
out.
it,
I don't know why that Annie was there. That was a very awkward spot.
They're slowly losing that gold lead they had.
They're losing it, but they still have it. They're still way ahead in this game.
Absolutely.
But StarFang is looking a lot better.
Down to 7K from 10K. That's a huge difference for them right now.
It's true. And they're hoping to put some aggression on this mid lane.
It'd be
Here
great
we
for
go,
them to
Nautilus
get
hitting
their
that
first
hook.
turret. I don't know how they should be focusing on the Nautilus, but they
Oh no,
get
StarFang is
so far out of
positioned so well that they're able to
Yep.
push down. It's a 1v1 so
He's
far.
going down.
Graves almost going down.
Forced out of the fight. Ezreal trying to poke him off.
Ezreal doing a really good job kiting everything. And that was a really good
Just
that was a
dodging
good job.
all the
by
hooks in that fight.
StarFang doing a really good job. That was a one for one,
One
but
for one.
they did a really good job kiting everything, and they get a tower off this.
And with their Elise being 0-4 when she died, she's not worth a huge amount of
There we go.
gold.
Teleport coming from Annie.
But even with Annie getting picked earlier, she's back in the perfect time to help them clean up this fight.
Yeah, and Mammox unfortunately being pulled by the Blitzcrank.
And they're pinging near Baron again.
Yeah, seeing that the enemy, the StarFang's jungler, is down, I think they might go for this Baron.
Yeah, Caitlyn's coming down for it.
Yeah, scanning
Clearing
for it. Yeah, they're
wards.
definitely going for it.
Yep, here it goes.
And honestly, StarFang can't contest. Look, they're all still in the fountain.
Yep. At least desperately running because she knows what's going on. But there's no hope
I don't
for her
think
to go in there.
she'll make it, but there's hope.
She's so squishy. She has nothing going for her right now.
And Baron goes to the FNB. FNB.
This isn't magic.
This is definitely not magic. And
Now,
they're taking a
StarFang
huge
wins this
lead.
game. Or StarFang wins this game. That'll be magic.
Oh, that would be absolutely magic. Even like last game was really good, and that was magic too. But like this game, that'd be insane. If in this series, we're able to get 2 huge comebacks. I'd be really impressed. Everyone's going back to pushing lanes. They're hopefully going to set up. Where do you think they're actually going to push? Where do you think they're going to use this Baron buff?
By the
Who do you
looks
think
of
on
it,
the
they've
team?
just been forcing mid so hard that they're going to keep doing that. I feel like it's been working for them. It's
Yeah.
always been pushed. You know, StarFang just hasn't really pushed it back that much. You know, they got the one turret, but it was instantly getting pushed right back to their Nexus.
And StarFang doesn't have an inhib turret, so they don't have that to deal with. So if they just push mid lane, they're just getting
They can get a quick inhib,
Yeah.
and they can get the super minions out there. Super minions with Baron on their Nexus, and they're definitely going to have to force a team fight.
Yeah, looks like they are grouping up mid lane, but at the same time, Nautilus is going bot lane, so they're hoping to probably go mid lane, take out this inhib turret, and then rotate bot, and hopefully getting 2 inhib turrets, even if they are not able to take the Nexus.
I think the big goal is they know that they're going to split the team to stop the push.
Yeah,
And then that's when they're going to start the team fight.
That's
It's
when
they're
they're
going to
gonna
have
strike.
4 against 3 or 4 against 2, and they're going to go in there big, and it'll be
Yes.
just a slaughter.
see here, they're just playing defensive, and Annie goes in real deep, trying to hit that stun, but misses, and still Annie being super aggressive, trying to dish as much damage as possible.
Ezreal throwing an early ult.
taking out the inhibitor, going for FNM, FNB. Oh my god. I don't know names anymore. Well, this is really exciting. I don't know if they're actually going to be able to take this turret. The Cocoon hitting the Nautilus, but seeing the Nautilus hitting that hook.
Nautilus getting stunned by Victor.
Yeah, Nautilus, it doesn't look good for Nautilus, but right now the rest of the StarFang is going for the rest of the team.
I had big hopes for Mamek, but he's been playing a poor game this game.
Yeah, this game, the Maokai pick.
Teleport on the minion to force that tower down. That is disrespect right there.
Alright, yeah, it feels way too dominant for FNB. I feel like they're going to close out the game here. Nice pull by Blitzcrank, taking out King Kyler. Oh, not taking out King Kyler. Maokai doing a really good job.
Blitzcrank going down to the
Blitzcrank going down.
Here comes Redemption.
Is there a possible comeback here?
The fight.
That was a really good Redemption. But Maokai going a little too deep. Ezreal not being able to follow up with the damage.
King Kyler's full HP. He can really make a difference here for them.
I don't think so. They're just too much health. And look at all the minions with Baron buff.
Caitlyn going down.
This is way too strong.
King Kyler's going to go down there. Easy kill.
Yeah. Even with the team there, I don't think they can even handle the minions.
These towers are going down.
These are going down.
They don't have
FNM, FNB. Oh my god. FNB.
Oh, and he's low.
But no, they're attacking the Nexus.
Nexus is going to probably...
closing out this game. Closing out the series.
3-1 for FNB.
Really well done by FNB. Dominating performance.
Incredible team, incredible play. Both teams were really good, but
both teams played
the better team always comes out on top.
Exactly. Wow, that was really well played. I really enjoyed that game. I don't know about you, but like that was a really good game.
It wasn't as action-packed as some of the other games, but it was just clean and played exactly how you want to play a game.
Yeah, exactly. And like they tried really hard to StarFang to come back, and they weren't able to. They were just too far behind. To be honest.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that that's the end of the tournament for them, but that's just how it goes.
Yeah, congratulations to FNB. Thank you for StarFang for playing with us. You've been amazing, and they
we hope
played
to see you
really
at our
well.
next tournament. I would love to see you guys again. You know,
they're a
getting
fantastic
out here.
team.
I want to see some improvement. You know, you guys got stuff to work on, but you're also a really strong team.
Yeah. Yeah, and coming up next, we'll be doing an interview pretty soon, and we'll be taking a break. And then coming up later on, in a couple, maybe an hour or so, maybe a little longer, we'll be having our finals. Yeah. Be right back.